How can the lessons of the LGBT struggle for human rights be extended to them, to the trans individual, to the person of color who's gay, to the homeless youth, as well as to other marginalized populations, refugees, ethnic minorities, racial minorities?
It's so important to really open up your heart. Okay, I'm not a transgender, so I don't know what that's like. I'm not a lesbian. I don't know what that's like. So I really but I can identify those as people. It was funny because Larry Kramer called me up to do his play Just Say No in Chicago. And when the playwright calls you up, you do his play. Okay, so then I go to this photo shoot with a dear friend of mine, Greg Gorman, and he said, "Oh, this is probably going to be the cover of," and I can't remember if it was Advocate or Out, and I'm like going, "It's just a play in Chicago. Why is this? Could be a potential cover shoot." And then when I get to the shoot, everybody's saying, "Oh, did you meet Alexandra? Have you met Alexandra?" Alexandra Billings was my, my co-star. And so I said, no. And then I finally met Alexandra, who's transgender, HIV-positive, and is married to a woman. And so she's hysterical. Okay, she is so funny. I mean, and Larry Kramer and I are both, we're grilling her. It's like, okay, what meds are you on? How does this work? You got a sex change to be a lesbian? And, we didn't understand, but it didn't matter. I love her as an individual and as a person. And so it breaks down those walls and those stereotypes. And, people are just people, and it's a birthright to love and be loved. And so in honoring that, that was a huge lesson for me. It's important to get outside of your community, to let people see who you are, and not play safe. If you're uncomfortable, you're probably in the right place.
Our Cleveland-Akron region has worked nonstop to make Gay Games 9 the most inclusive ever. We hope it is. But we still lack statewide non-discrimination protections for the LGBT community. I think some of the listeners, when this is aired on TV, will be surprised to know that, it's still legal in Ohio to call in an employee in your company and say, "I found out you're gay or lesbian, you're fired." Yeah. I just wanted to know, what message do you think it sends to bring the Gay Games into a place like Ohio? And how can this event change hearts and minds? You talked about it a little bit in the answer to the former question.
Yeah, that's the part of your going to where you're uncomfortable. If you are uncomfortable, then you may be creating change without even realizing it. Don't underestimate, never underestimate the positive impact that you can have on people just by being yourselves. And just by letting people see who you are as people, and and the love that you share, because we're all of the same race. We are human beings. So, I think that's the most important thing.